I will do anything that's morally and ethically correct to get a kid under the sound of the gospel one time. Now, if you got a problem with that, then you got a problem here.
Brooklyn, New York. With over 2 million inhabitants, it's home to some of America's worst inner-city ghettos. With gun crime, crack addiction, and poverty rife, it's a hard place for kids to grow up.
Hey, what's up? I'm on TV. I want to holler to everybody out there. They my people. Who's the man? Who's the man? Hey, get that paper away from me. Who's the man? People just don't know how to act on TV.
But Brooklyn's kids have an unlikely savior, a maverick preacher known to them as Pastor Bill.
Everywhere we go, the people want to know who we are. That we are the Yokebes.
In a converted brewery, Reverend Bill Wilson runs a Sunday school known to the kids as Yogi Bear. It's the biggest of its kind in the world, and each week it reaches 20,000 kids from all over New York.
New bus, man, new bus.
With a fleet of old-school buses and nearly 400 staff and volunteers, Bill Wilson has found a way to get kids coming to church that would never normally go.
Hey, man, let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Guys, ready?
But it's no ordinary Sunday school. The reason the kids come here is because it's more like a TV game show than anything you'd expect to see in a church.
Turn around.
It's a high-octane mix of games, prizes, and Bible quizzes. And Pastor Bill is its host.
Both hands, both hands, both hands. Wiggle your fingers, please. Wiggle them faster, faster. Simon says, put your hands on your hips. Simon says, look straight up. Simon says, say, good morning, Jesus.
Good morning, Jesus.
Then let's sing it. What mighty God we serve. Come on. Just the girls. Come on, girls.
But Bill Wilson is not in this for the fun of it. Once he's got the kids' attention, he has a serious message to deliver.
Everybody in this room has a choice. You can end up like some of your sisters, in a mess, with a bunch of kids, not married. If that's what you want, it's waiting out there for you. You can end up like your brothers, like your uncle, like your nephew, like any of those people, and you know what I'm talking about. I pledge allegiance to the Christian flag and to the Savior for whose kingdom it stands. The whole key to the Sunday school is getting these kids to realize that there's options in life. The school system here knows that these kids probably will never graduate from high school. So what that does, that feeds into their mindset is that you're not going to make it. You don't have enough brains. Your parents were losers. Your relatives were losers. Everybody that lives in these neighborhoods are losers, so you're destined to be a loser too. Hey, you think it's funny? Okay, I'm going to throw you both out. All right. Sit there and shut up. People do that kind of stuff because nobody took the time to sit them down like we do here every week and train them. You want to be an idiot? You want to act like them? Go home.
Home for many of these kids isn't much of an option. Most of Bill's young congregation come from the no-go areas of New York. The notorious projects. Government housing that sees some of the worst of New York's crime.
Our God, you save us and the fearful deeds answer our prayers for justice. I'm continuing from where I was at.
13-year-old Scotty found his way to Bill's Sunday school from the Brooklyn projects.
I lived with my grandmother for all my years. It was rough because the because the neighborhood that I lived in was a lot of shooting, a lot of fighting, and stuff like that. And really from there, when I grew up, I used to hang out with the wrong crowd. I used to hang out with other people. I used to steal, go out to Toys R Us, used to steal, stuff like that. And then one day, I just seen the light. I met John Galindez, my bus captain, and he taught me about God. And now I'm coming here, and my whole life has changed. My grandmother could tell you that. My aunts, everybody could tell you that.
Morning. How you doing, sweetheart? Morning, baby. I love you. You doing good?
Bill has been teaching kids about God for over 20 years.
Baby, what's up? How you doing? You good to go?
His own conversion to faith happened after he was abandoned by his mother.
My mother and I were walking down the street, and it was a hard time. You know, my dad was gone, and, you know, the typical American dysfunctional family. And we were sitting on this culvert going over this drainage ditch. And she looked at me and she said, I can't do this anymore. She said, you wait here. And I was almost 13, so I was old enough to know what was going on, but not quite old enough to understand all the circumstances around it. And she got up, and I remember watching her walk away. And I sat there for 3 days, and she didn't come back. She never did come back, ever. Finally, after 3 days, a Christian man, he was a neighbor, stopped. He picked me up, paid my way to this Christian youth camp. I've never been to church in my life, never once. But that night, sitting there all by myself, not knowing how to pray, for the first time in my life, I felt like somebody loved me. Doesn't make sense. But when you come into the presence of God, you don't always need a counselor. You don't need somebody to explain it. And it was from that night that something happened. Couldn't explain it then. Understand better now. But so every week when I drive my bus here in New York and I pick up the kids, now you know who I'm picking up. I'm picking up me.
You good to go? Yeah. Let's do it again. Come on, girls. Make it go, go, go.
Bill Wilson's Brooklyn Sunday School has become so successful, it's attracting people from all over the world. Like Paul Sori, a 21-year-old youth worker from the north of England.
When I was a teenager, I was about 16, I heard Bill Wilson speak at this big Christian conference in England, and I was really struggling at the time with the whole Christianity thing. But this guy was just going for it. He was just so on fire, so passionate. And I thought, if I could go there, if I could just learn and train how to do this sort of thing, that would be absolutely, it'd be so valuable to bring back to England.
Happy song.
Paul will join 28 other interns as they learn how to entertain the kids and teach them the Bible.
Coming again with life and liberty to all who believe.
With a 6-day-a-week intensive schedule, it's a cross between Fame Academy and a boot camp.
The rules of the internship? Well, I think they're pretty simple. You have to clean your house, not like the bathrooms and the kitchen, and you can't have a girlfriend or boyfriend for 4 months. So we can focus on what we are here to do. I think it's a good thing.
One of the most challenging jobs for the interns will be the home visits. Every one of the 20,000 kids who come to Sunday school is visited each week by members of staff. It's proved central to the success of Bill Wilson's approach.
So Michael, when you first came to New York, you came as an intern, yeah?
Paul goes out with more experienced staff into one of Brooklyn's more notorious projects.
I feel like I've been shopping with my sister with all these. I feel like I've been shopping with my sister with all these.
Right. Smells really bad.
Yeah.
It stinks. So I hope everyone's up when we go in.
It's very much that there's a door there, and I just didn't know when that door opened what to expect on the other side.
Hey, how you doing?
My name's Paul. You okay?
Everything's gonna be all right. Right?
So Michael come every week? Michael comes every week?
You just seen 15 people living in one apartment, and there was cockroaches on the floor, and there was just like, there was trash on the floor, and it was almost like they'd just given up. You know what I mean? They'd given up.
Who do you think?
Fair for that meal.
This, yeah, for you. One of you two boys. That's nice, isn't it? There might be another one. Is there more in this one?
And you know what? You're going to meet parents, you're going to meet teenagers, you're going to meet kids that you're going to think, these guys are hopeless. No, they're not hopeless, they just don't have hope. The gospel is what brings the hope. And the conduit, the messenger of that is you guys. And if you can get one thing in your head, you literally are, for most of these kids, the only Jesus they're ever going to see. Because this is not about a job. It's a lifestyle, my friends. This has never been a job to me. That's what. You know how to take a vacation. If I have one more person tell me I look like I need a vacation, I'm going to slap somebody. I've looked like this for as long as I can remember. It doesn't get better than this, folks. If you're expecting me to look better, you're going to be sadly disappointed.
Bill does scare me. He's a scary guy. I think it's just because he's so focused, and he's so passionate, and he doesn't mess around. You know, he hasn't got time for nonsense. It's a bit like it's a bit like being in the army, and Bill's like this sergeant or this general, and it's like he walks in and everyone kind of stands to attention. It's like, oh, you know, quick, smart yourself up and everything.
To reach kids that live too far away from Brooklyn to be bussed in, Bill has bought a fleet of 17 trucks and adapted them into mobile Sunday schools to take his message out onto the streets. It'll be Paul's first chance to get up in front of New York's kids.
All right, boys and girls, I got your Bible story for today. It comes out of the book of Job. Everybody say Job. Job. And this is what happened. One day, he was just chilling, doing his own thing, hanging out in his house, and one of his servants came on the door and knocked on the door. And he walked in, this is what he said. He said, the oxen were plowing and the donkeys were grazing nearby. And so people attacked and carried them off. They took all the servants and killed them, but he was the only.
It was the first time I'd ever done anything like this. Didn't know really what to expect. Didn't know how many children were going to come, and it was very, very strange and quite scary, exciting. But I didn't know these children. You know, different culture, total different upbringing, total background. Didn't know whether they'd accept me or anything.
What was number one important thing?
God loves me.
God love me.
Yes! God number one! Woo!
The children here, I think that they need about 3 times more attention than the children back at home in England. I think because they don't get the affection, they don't get the love, they don't get all the attention that they need, whether it's at home or at school or whatever. So when you're there, they just literally hang off you.
Oh, my friend.
Yeah, if he wants a drink, he'll have to come and get it.
I gotta run all the way over there and get it though.
Well, that's okay. I can't give it them if they're not on the taps.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna give them 2. I'm gonna give them 1.
Sit down now, you'll get a juice. You've got one. What's that there in between your legs? Don't lie.
But it's good, you're clear, you're loud, you change your voice, your expression, it's good. Just use your body language a little bit more. Like,
do a lot of that.
Quite nervous.
I was nervous.
You were nervous?
Yeah.
That's alright. That's good, that means you take it serious. That's alright.
Randy, where's the 20, Randy?
Keeping this show on the road costs almost $7 million a year, and it's up to Bill to raise it.
You got the 1 suitcase, clothes bag, and cart?
Every week, as soon as the Sunday school is over, Bill has to leave New York and go in search of funds.
Hey, have a better day. I'll see you, man.
Oh, it'll be fine.
All right.
he's amassed over 15 million air miles, flying to speaking engagements all over the world. But most of his funds will come from the megachurches in Middle America. This week, he's in Arkansas.
You know, I actually consider it a bonus if I actually get in the right city at the right time and actually find the church. So people say, what are you going to speak about? I don't know. I guess it's Woody Allen who said 90% of life is just showing up. And I think that's kind of how I feel at this point. If I can find the place and get there on time, I'll let the Holy Spirit do the rest.
Hi, I'm Vilas Elder. You obviously are Bill Wilson.
Sometimes I am. Just depends on who wants to know and what's the purpose.
Everywhere he goes, Bill retells the story of how he was abandoned by his mother.
The presence of God, folks, moves people. My turning point was right there when nobody wanted me. Nobody wanted me. That's why I live the way I live. That's why I've done what I've done. And that's why I'm going to do it till the day I die. Because when you've been there, it just changes, doesn't it? That's why we're here today.
It's nice to hear every once in a while. Thanks. Hey, did you want to sponsor him? Great.
As well as soliciting donations, Bill encourages churchgoers to sponsor individual children. But being out on the road for almost half the year is the part of Bill's job he finds the hardest.
You know, it's the thing that we joke about, but we have to kind of make it a joke. You have to laugh or else you cry all the time. Is that you have to do these kinds of things in order to do what it is that you're really supposed to do. But you don't have time to do what you're supposed to do because you're out here doing this to raise the money to do what you're supposed to do, that you can't do as much as you want to because you're out here doing this. You know, every once in a while you get a couple of hours on Sunday night afterwards, like after we're done with the service, I'll come back here and stand out here and just